Big Herc916. Never settle for average. Pick you up some merch at bigherc916.com. Represent, because I know if you're watching this channel, you don't settle for average. So we have two interesting things going on right now in the news. You have Bill Cosby. His appeal was granted, and he will be released from prison. Yeah, Bill Cosby, man, he served a little under 3 years off a 3 to 10 year sentence in Pennsylvania. And yeah, his particulars in his case, there is some testimony that they used that was in a civil case that wasn't supposed to be used, that was incriminating, that they used in his actual criminal trial. Also, there were accusers who were allowed to give testimony that weren't initially supposed to be allowed to testify in the criminal hearing. So there was a lot of legal things that took place that shouldn't have took place, which opened up the door for appeal. And they probably knew that. You know, they'll do stuff like that, make you spend more money, sit down for a little while, and then later on, you know, give you some action and appeal. But luckily, Bill Cosby had the money to fight and the resources, and you know, there were obvious violations in his case that the judge knew. But the appeal process is slow, man. It doesn't happen overnight. You file an appeal, you got to wait months. It's not like you file and you're in jail. You'll be sitting there for a minute. And so that's what happened with Bill. And you know, right before that, he was denied parole because of his he refused to take the sex offender treatment plan. So, you know, he was accused of sexual assault by 60 women. And he said that he would rather service his full sentence than acknowledge any remorse over the alleged encounter with Constant. So, yeah, man, Bill Cosby, man, you know, he said he wasn't gonna go out like that, man. And he got granted his appeal, man. And the incriminating testimony actually came from Andrea Constant in the civil case, and that's what, you know, opened up the floodgate for the criminal case. So interesting, man. Like I said, there's a lot of people I know waiting on appeals for certain cases, and if you don't have good attorneys and people who could represent you in court on your appeal's a whole nother animal. It's a hell of a fight, man. You don't want to put yourself in that position. On the other hand, you got these cats, man. I keep telling these cats about this goddamn internet, man, and this social media. Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty was indicted for his involvement in an alleged shooting and a robbery in Miami after investigators spotted incriminating pictures on his Instagram. So they said he was arrested in connection with an October 2020 shooting at Bay Harbor Island, Florida, in which 2 men were wounded. Investigators reportedly used Instagram photos posted several days before in the robbery, in which the MC allegedly flaunted several long rifles and a plethora of $100 bills. As an aid in their probe, the image appeared to have been removed, with one bill inside a Louis Vuitton bag stuffed with more than $40,000 in cash that tumbled out of the rented lime green McLaren that fled the scene, matching the serial number in the photo. Shiesty also reportedly posted photos of himself in a car that appeared to match the description of the McLaren. So you see how they do that, man? You see, you don't get it yet? They matched a serial number from the photo from a serial number of some other bills that were found at the crime scene. serial numbers through Instagram picture. Tracked it right back. Then that's just a piece. That's just a little piece. And then they tie that into the vehicle that was used in the robbery. Then they tie it into the gun. They might even pull a serial number from the picture if they can find one of the gun and match it to maybe a gun that was used at the robbery. Now, if they find the guns and they do the ballistics, it's a wrap. And they said they're now saying that there could be possibly federal charges. So they said he's facing charges of disarming a firearm during a violent crime, conspiracy, and robbery under a law regulating commerce, and would be reportedly held in federal custody until July 6th detention hearing. Dude, they are not messing around, man. They throw out a Hobbs Act on you that now makes a state case federal. See, the Hobbs Act, what they used to use for some of these people committing robberies that weren't of banks but other institutions that affected interstate commerce. And so they throw the Hobbs Act on you. The state, you got wiggle room when you go to trial, man. And the feds, they gonna bust your head. They got all the resources. They got the top of the game resources to come in and split your wig legally. And that's what they do, man. When the feds pick the case up, 85%. You know, that's how much time you do 85%, and they got, you know, they said 99% conviction rate, because you go to trial, there's always somebody that's going to testify against you, and it's a wrap. And you're not going to, a jury trial in the feds, man, it's like you might as well just throw your hands up. You're going to get washed, you know, unless you pull a goddamn miracle out and you have something that they just don't have, but they have every resource. And they're making an example of these rappers, man. I seen something with the guy Glock9, it's let him out. He had numerous discharging firearm, gun charges, attempted murders, and I guess they released Glock9 out of Florida, but yeah, getting Cash Money artist. And they're probably just watching him, man. They're watching and see if he does anything else. See what they do, they let him out, and then knowing that this individual will go ahead and incriminate himself again, then it's like, dude, they had you out on bail and you committed another crime. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I see, man, the game is so textbook for these people, man. They don't even have to work for these cases, you know? And you don't want to get caught up in a situation like Bill Cosby, having to fight for your life. Dude, it might seem all fun and partying when you're a youngster and you're out here wilding out and you thinking, oh man, this is cool, you know, I don't care, blah blah blah, life ain't this. Hopefully if you live to be in your late 40s, 50s, 60s, you'll be thinking like, God, man, I was a straight dummy. I played myself, man. I was around these. Why was I hanging out with these dudes? Why was I doing that, man? See, but you can't see that right now because you young and you full of life, you know. Pistols unregistered, busting fools, robbing. I know, I've been there, man. It was, yeah, you don't think about it until you get up in there and you start talking to some grandpas in the pen. You start seeing people that look like your grandpa in the pen, your old uncles. You'd be like, oh shit, how long has he been in here? What did he do? Maybe I need to holler at this OG. I'm telling you, I try to lace you up, man, but you don't hear me though. Big Herc916.
Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.